Hey nerds, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a tattoo tour. I'm going to show you guys all of my tattoos that I have so far. But before we get into that, I just want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Now let's get into this. So this is going to be a shorter video. I only have 5 tattoos to show you guys, but just know that I am overdue for 15. I'm going to go in chronological order, starting from the very first one that I got to the most recent one that I got. So let's get started. Okay, this first one is on my rib, so I'm going to have to stand up and show y'all. So this is the very first tattoo that I got. It's on my ribs, as you can see. It is a ram with the Aries constellation. So I got this tattoo a few months after my 18th birthday. I think I got it in July of 2020. I think so, yeah. Here's a picture of it when it was like freshly done, like it was fresh and brand new. There's not really a deep meaning or important meaning behind this one. This is my first tattoo, and this was one that I have been wanting since, you know, tattoos became a thought in my mind. I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I get? Because I want my first tattoo to be a good one. And this was the one that I wanted the most, and obviously that's my zodiac sign. I take pride in being an Aries, a March Aries. Let me clarify. I take pride in being a fire sign. I was like, yeah, I think this is a great first tattoo choice, and it was super cute, and I thought it was great, so I put it on my ribs. I also rank the pain on a scale from 1 to 10. This one actually didn't hurt that bad. If I had to rate it, the pain, it would probably be like a 4 out of 10. It mostly tickled because it was like on that spot, you know, where you squeeze, and I was trying not to laugh most of the time. So yeah, I guess the pain would be like a 4 out of 10. Okay, next tattoo. Okay, so this is my second tattoo. Get a good look. It is a Bible verse. It says Isaiah 40:31. This one does have a backstory and a meaning behind it, so I'll go into that. So I grew up in a Southern Baptist church for most of my life, and I always had this idea in the back of my mind, like when I started getting tattoos, this was something that I wanted to put on my body. I don't know if I told y'all this, but I guess I'll be telling y'all now. So I have this condition. It's a heart condition called vasovagal syncope. I don't know if I told y'all this, but I guess I'll tell y'all now. So I have this heart condition called vasovagal syncope, and how I describe it and how it was described to me when I first got diagnosed is, you know, when my central nerve gets too overworked and my blood pressure bottoms out, it causes an episode. I faint. And then for me, I don't know if this happens to anybody else who has the condition, but shortly after I faint, I have a seizing episode. And I started having these episodes, you know, my freshman year of high school, and it really affected me in my day-to-day. And then for the longest time, we didn't know what was wrong with me. We didn't know if I had epilepsy. We didn't know what was going on with me. And so my junior year of high school, I finally got diagnosed. They finally figured out what was wrong with me. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Even though my condition has hindered me in lots of things, it has made me stronger today. And so that's why I chose that Bible verse to put on my skin, and it's also on the back of my high school letterman. I don't remember what it says word for word, but I will look it up and I will read it to you. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Okay, so I remember now why I chose this one specifically, because I was fainting all over the place. And then also, ironically, unironically, I was a track star, and so this fainting condition really hindered me running because I couldn't, But yeah, that was very important to me. And as a former Christian, like today, I am no longer tied to the whole of Christianity, but I still think this is important. You know, it's important to me, and I am reminded of that every time I look at my wrist. So yeah, I got this tattoo my freshman year of college, right after the first semester was over. If I had to rate the pain, I would say maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10. I'll say 6 because it's right there on the wrist and this part hurts. At least it hurt me. But yeah, I'll say like a 6 out of 10. Okay, I'm gonna stand up for this one because this one's pretty big. Okay, so this is my third tattoo. I have a half sleeve of Medusa. I'll turn it a little bit so y'all can see. No, the snakes don't go all the way around. I thought about doing that when I first got it, but I was like, eh. But yeah, she's a little faded. She's definitely overdue for a touch-up, but I still think she is very beautiful. And this is my biggest tattoo that I have. So some of you may be thinking, oh, you have a Medusa tattoo. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain. So some people have a Medusa tattoo to symbolize that they are a survivor of SA. That is not why I have it. I just want to make that clear. That's not why I have it. And I also do not think that, you know, a Medusa tattoo can be just used for that one specific thing. That's what most people get them for. I don't have it for that reason, but I'll explain my reason. So growing up as a kid, first, Greek mythology was one of my hyperfixations. I love everything that there is to know about Greek mythologies, and Medusa was one of my favorite characters to learn about. But also, as I grew older, I realized how much she resonated with me as a person before becoming the monster. So, long story short, she was just misunderstood and people were intimidated and afraid of her because she was just being herself. And I couldn't relate to anything more. And then I also relate to people making assumptions about me based off of, you know, what I look like, or, you know, them having stereotypes placed upon me before even getting to know me. And I was like, you know what? I kind of connect with the character of Medusa. And I chose to get this as a symbol of resilience and, you know, my uniqueness. I just think that her story resonates with me even still to this day. So yeah, that's why I have a Medusa tattoo. So the pain level on this one is kind of all over the place because different parts of this hurt. So like right up here, like right in here, you know where I'm talking about, where you get, you know, drawn for blood, where you donate blood. This hurt. This hurt so bad. Now like this whole middle part, you know, with her face and this space between the snake used to be black. Like this whole thing was like dark. But this middle section, that went numb after a while. So I would say like 3 out of 10. Like I could still feel the pressure of the needle, but after a while I went numb and I fell asleep because this part really didn't hurt that much. Now right here, this used to be like super detailed and, you know, darker. So he was like, you know, and he had to do what he had to do. This hurt like a bitch. So this was like an 8 out of 10 because this had more detail. That hurt so bad. And the thing that hurt the most with this one was the shading, for sure. I feel like if you have a super detailed tattoo and it needs some shading, that's going to be the worst part. That's me speaking personally. I don't know, maybe it's the opposite for y'all. Maybe, you know, the lines are, you know, the worst part for you. But alright, next tattoo. Okay, so this is my 4th tattoo. 2 words, Rekha Stowe. I will explain what that means in a minute, but you can see it right here on my forearm, right underneath my Bible verse. So yeah, you got that? Cool. So this tattoo has a very interesting meaning, and this is one of my favorites. So this tattoo is actually my dad's handwriting. Now, as I have said on this channel before, my dad and I have a very special bond, and we bond through music and movies. And so we are both very huge Prince fans. He was the one to introduce me to Prince, tell me all of his lore, you know, delve into his music with me so I could learn. And we also really like his movies. Other than Purple Rain, our favorite Prince movie is Under the Cherry Moon. Highly underrated. I recommend that y'all go watch it if you are a Prince fan, or if you're not, just go watch it anyway. But there's this scene in the movie where Prince, he's the main character, and his brother are trolling this girl, essentially. And they were like, well, what did they say? Dad, help. So they're trolling this girl and they write Rekha Stowe on a napkin. And they're like, what does this say? Since you know everything, since you're so smart, what does this say? And she was like, oh, y'all are silly, you know, whatever. Like, I'm not about to play your games. Like, no, since you're so smart, what does this say? And she was like, that's not even a real word. And so, mind you, this girl is white, right? And so Prince goes,
if you wanted to buy a Sam Cooke, Abby, where would you go?
The record store.
They're saying record store, but you know, kind of AAVE style. It's record store. If you want to buy a Sam Cooke album, where would you go? Record store. That is a favorite scene that me and my dad both love, so that became one of our inside jokes when he showed me the movie for the first time. And I was like, Dad, I really want you to write something, you know, of deep meaning for my tattoo. I want to have something with your handwriting on my body. Like, I really want to have that connection. And that's what he chose. And I couldn't ask for anything better because no one knows what it means, you know, and I have to explain the whole story to them, which is really funny. But every time I look down at this, especially when I was at college, you know, I'd be missing my dad. I would look down at this and he's gonna be with me always. Now that this is on my body, he's always gonna be with me even after he's gone. So this really means a lot to me. So thanks, Dad. While we're on the topic, I'm trying to get my mom to do the same thing, you know, write something that we shared, you know, with each other in her handwriting. But my mom is not very fond of tattoos. She does not like tattoos. Can y'all imagine how she felt when I got this? So yeah, but I talked to her recently and she's gonna do it for me because I have my birthday coming up at the end of the month. Isn't she beautiful? I think so too. So not only is this very pretty, this has a meaning. So when I was younger, I did one-act play. If you don't know what that is, it's a UIL competition for theater kids. And I did it middle school and high school. And there was this one play that I will never forget. It was like, it was my 8th grade year. And first of all, I want to say it was super dark for a middle school to be putting this play on and submitting it for a UIL competition, but that's beside the point. But it was very deep and dark, and I will never forget the closing line of this play. Basically, the main character sacrificed himself to, like, you know, get rid of the villain. And as the main character was dying, he said, light cannot exist without dark. And then the play ended. Listen, that stuck with me this whole time, right? That happened in 8th grade. I was like, oh. And they did amazing, by the way, but I was like, oh my God. Like, oh my goodness. And back then when I saw that play for the first time, I thought the story was beautiful. I can't remember it now. I can't even remember the name, but it stuck with me for a reason. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that like tatted on me one day. So I was gonna get the words like, you know, actually on my body, but I was like, you know what? Let me do the sun and the moon. I feel like that is more me. So yeah, that's what I did. But yes, my sun and my moon for the symbolism of light cannot exist without dark. Yeah, come through, avant-garde. But yeah, that's all my tattoos that I have so far. I really do want to get some more. I want to get like this arm covered with whatever. I just want to cover my arm and then do the rest of this, whatever that shall be. But yeah, all my tattoos. Tattoo tour is over. Thank you for your time. So that concludes our video for today. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Comment a pen emoji if you made it to the end of the video. You know, because of ink and stuff. Yeah. And subscribe if you want to. I'll see y'all on the next go round. Okay, bye.